The Discovery. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge of the exploration vessel Horizon Seeker, watching the unfamiliar star system expand across her view screen. Her ship was small by Galactic Coalition standards, just 120 meters from bow to stern with a crew of 23. But it was perfect for her mission, charting the unexplored regions at the edge of Coalition space. Still nothing on standard frequencies, Captain, reported Communications Officer Elias Reed, his fingers dancing across his console. But that signal is definitely artificial. I've never seen encryption like this before. Maya nodded, brushing a strand of black hair from her face. At 36, she was young for a captain, even in the Coalition's Explorer Division, but her intuition had saved her crew more than once in the uncharted territories. Keep broadcasting our identification on all channels. Whatever's out there, I wanted to know we come in peace, she said, turning to her science officer. Dr. Novak, any update on those energy readings? Dr. Leona Novak, a tall woman with intense eyes and prematurely silver hair, frowned at her displays. It defies explanation, Captain. The signature suggests advanced technology, but it's originating from what appears to be an asteroid field. No recorded spacefaring species has claimed this region. Maya studied the view screen. The asteroid field looked ordinary enough, chunks of rock tumbling through the void. But something about it made her skin prickle. The signal they detected 3 days ago had led them here, a repeating pattern too precise to be natural. Helm, take us in closer, 1/4 impulse. Maintain defensive shields. Lieutenant Ravi Sharma guided the ship gently forward, approaching the outer boundary of the asteroid field. Captain. The bridge fell silent as the Horizon Seeker edged into the field. Maya watched intently as the asteroid seemed to part before them, revealing a clear path. This isn't natural, Dr. Novak whispered. The asteroids are repositioning themselves. There's some kind of guidance system. Suddenly, a massive shape emerged from the darkness ahead, and collective gasps filled the bridge. The object was enormous, at least 7 kilometers long, its dark hull stretching beyond the ship's spotlights. By the stars, breathed Security Chief Terek. That's a warship. Maya stared in disbelief. The vessel was clearly of human design, with sleek lines and functional angles that matched known human aesthetic principles, but at a scale and sophistication that no current human vessel could match. That's impossible, Elias said. Coalition records state that humans never developed technology of this scale. We're a minor species that joined the Coalition just 3 centuries ago after they discovered Earth. Maya's eyes narrowed. Apparently, Coalition records are incomplete. As they drew closer, lights began to flicker across the massive hull, systems activating in sequence like a giant waking from slumber. Captain, Elias called urgently. I'm receiving a transmission from the vessel. It's using an ancient human military protocol. The ship identifies itself as the UES Defiance. UES? Maya questioned. United Earth Ship, Dr. Novak said quietly. From before the Coalition standardized vessel designations. The ship is scanning us, reported Tactical Officer Lin. Our shields are holding, but these scans are incredibly precise. I've never seen technology like this. Maya made a decision. Open a channel. Elias worked his console. Channel open. This is Captain Maya Chen of the exploration vessel Horizon Seeker, representing the Galactic Coalition. We come in peace and seek communication. The bridge speakers crackled with static, then a deep, resonant voice responded. Genetic signature confirmed. Human. Welcome, descendants. I am Atlas, Advanced Tactical Logistics and Security System of the United Earth Ship Defiance. Protocol awakening has been initiated. Maya exchanged glances with her officers before responding. Atlas, we were unaware of your existence. Can you identify your origin and purpose? Affirmative. The Defiance was constructed in Earth year 2782, commissioned as the flagship of the Terran Defense Fleet. Current date according to your systems indicates 5,473 years since my activation protocols were suspended. The bridge fell into stunned silence. Dr. Novak spoke first, her voice trembling slightly. That's impossible. Humans weren't in space 5,000 years ago. According to all our historical records, we were still developing basic combustion technology on Earth. Your historical understanding is incomplete by design, Atlas replied. The Terran Stellar Commonwealth once spanned 412 star systems across this galactic arm. When the void entities were discovered, the Commonwealth leadership enacted Protocol Ascension Reversal. Maya leaned forward. Void entities? Ascension Reversal. Please explain. Request granted. Transmitting historical data package. The main view screen change, showing a series of images, gleaming cities on dozens of worlds, massive space stations orbiting strange suns, fleets of starships that made coalition vessels look primitive by comparison. Maya and her crew watched in silence as the display showed humans working alongside other species, building wonders across the stars. The Terran Stellar Commonwealth achieved faster-than-light travel approximately 8,000 years ago. Atlas explained as the images continued. For nearly 3 millennia, humanity expanded peacefully across the stars, establishing colonies and forming alliances with other spacefaring species. The images darkened, showing strange distortions in space, areas where reality itself seemed to bend and fold. In the 32nd century of the old calendar, deep exploration vessels encountered the first void entity, a being that exists partially in another dimension. Initial contact was catastrophic. Entire colonies disappeared. Research determined that these entities were attracted to the energy signatures of advanced civilizations, particularly the quantum fields generated by faster-than-light technology. The screen showed Commonwealth scientists and military leaders in emergency meetings. After decades of unsuccessful defense, the Commonwealth Council made the most difficult decision in human history: Protocol Ascension Reversal. Humanity would deliberately regress its technology, returning to a pre-industrial state. All knowledge of the Commonwealth would be erased from collective memory, with only a small cadre of guardians retaining encoded genetic memories that could be activated if the threat returned. Maya struggled to comprehend what she was hearing. You're saying my ancestors chose to forget their achievements, to abandon the stars and return to Earth as primitives? Affirmative. The Commonwealth's sacrifice was made to protect all life in this galaxy. By removing the most advanced civilization, the void entities lost their primary entry point. Selected warships like the Defiance were hidden throughout strategic points in the galaxy, placed in dormancy with automated defense systems that would activate if the void entities ever returned. Maya felt lightheaded. If what ATLS claimed was true, everything she knew about human history was incomplete. Why are you awakening now? Because the void entities have found another way into this reality, Atlas replied. Long-range sensors have detected dimensional fractures at the edge of this galaxy, the same signatures that preceded the first invasion. Captain, Elias interrupted, his face pale. I'm receiving emergency transmissions from Coalition headquarters. They're detecting unusual spatial anomalies in multiple sectors, exactly matching what ATLS is describing. Maya turned back to the view screen. Atlas, what defensive capabilities does the Defiance possess? This vessel was designed as a carrier and command ship, equipped with quantum displacement drives, hypervelocity mass drivers, phase shift defense systems, and deployment bays for 200 tactical craft. Additionally, I can activate 11 other Commonwealth installations throughout this galactic sector. Other installations? Security Chief Tarek asked. Affirmative. Defense platforms, monitoring stations, and sister ships currently in dormancy. All were placed strategically to form a defensive network if the void entities returned. Maya took a deep breath, making the most important decision of her career. I request permission to come aboard, Atlas. If what you're saying is true, the Coalition needs to know. Permission granted, Captain Chen. However, I must inform you of one critical detail. According to my genetic scan, you carry the encoded memories of the Commonwealth. You are a guardian descendant. Maya's hand went unconsciously to her temple. What does that mean? It means you were born with dormant knowledge that will activate upon exposure to Commonwealth technology. Knowledge that may be crucial for the coming conflict. Maya looked around at her crew, seeing the mixture of fear and wonder on their faces. Whatever waited aboard that ancient warship would change everything they thought they knew about their place in the galaxy. Prepare a shuttle, she ordered. It's time to reclaim our legacy. Awakening legacy. The Galactic Coalition Security Council chamber erupted into chaos as the holographic display showed multiple anomalies appearing at the edges of Coalition space. Representatives from 27 species shouted over each other, their fear amplified by the chamber's acoustics. Supreme Counselor Xel Terran, a tall Arcadian with luminescent skin, struck his ceremonial staff against the floor 3 times. The sharp sounds gradually brought silence. "We will maintain order," he said firmly. "Is there any explanation for these anomalies?" Science Director Venna, a Cetarian with large reflective eyes, stepped forward. "The anomalies defy our understanding of space-time physics. They appear to be tears in the fabric of reality itself." "And what of this human vessel?" asked Defense Coordinator Krell, a heavily armored Drevex known for his militaristic views. "The timing cannot be coincidental." The Council's attention turned to the human representative, Senior Ambassador Julian Hayes. Unlike most in the chamber, Hayes appeared strangely calm. "We have received a preliminary report from Captain Chen of the Horizon Seeker," he said. "The vessel they discovered is indeed of human origin, but from a period of our history that was deliberately forgotten." "Convenient," Krell growled. "A mysterious superweapon appears just as these anomalies begin. Perhaps humans have been deceiving us about their capabilities all along." "That is not," Hayes began, but was interrupted as the chamber doors slid open. Captain Maya Chen entered, flanked by 2 of her officers. The council fell silent as they noted her changed appearance. Though physically the same, she carried herself differently, more assured, almost regal. Her eyes held knowledge that hadn't been there before. "Esteemed Council," she began without preamble, "I bring urgent information. The anomalies you've detected are dimensional breaches created by entities that nearly destroyed all life in this galaxy once before." Maya activated a small device, and the chamber's holographic display changed to show images from the Defiance's historical archives, the Commonwealth at its height, the first encounters with the void entities, and the desperate final plan. 5,000 years ago, humanity possessed the most advanced civilization in this sector of the galaxy, she explained. "When the void entities attacked, drawn to our technology, my ancestors made an incomprehensible sacrifice. They erased their own achievements from history and memory, returning to Earth as primitives to protect all life in this galaxy." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Maya continued. "The warship Defiance was left as part of a dormant defense network, programmed to reactivate if the threat returned. That time is now." "Why should we believe this fantastic tale?" Krell demanded. "This could be an elaborate human plot to seize power within the Coalition." "Because I remember," Maya said simply. "The Defiance's AI activated dormant genetic memories encoded in my DNA. Memories preserved through centuries of carefully managed bloodlines. I can access technology and knowledge that proves everything I'm saying." She pressed a sequence on her device, and the holographic display showed real-time feeds from the edge of Coalition space. The dimensional anomalies were growing, and strange, shifting forms began to emerge. Entities that seemed to bend and distort the very space around them. "The void entities exist partially in another dimension," Maya explained. "They don't communicate or negotiate. They consume the energy generated by advanced civilizations. The Commonwealth sacrificed drove them back once. Now we must stand together to face them again." Before the Council could respond, an emergency alert sounded. The display shifted to show a fleet of coalition vessels engaging strange, crystalline ships near one of the largest anomalies. The Vex-Car Collective, Science Director Venna identified. They'd been investigating the anomalies independently. The Council watched as beams of energy lanced from the crystalline ships toward the anomaly, attempting to seal it through brute force. Instead, the breach widened dramatically, and dark, amorphous shapes poured through. "No," Maya cried. "Direct energy weapons will only strengthen the breach." On screen, the amorphous entities engulfed the Vex-Car ships one by one. Each vessel's energy signature flared briefly before disappearing completely, consumed by the darkness. Coalition Defense Fleet reports similar breaches opening in 6 other sectors, reported a communications officer. Multiple vessels lost. Conventional weapons proving ineffective. The council chamber fell silent as the magnitude of the threat became clear. "What can be done?" Supreme Counselor Xelteran asked quietly, turning to Maya. "The Commonwealth developed specific countermeasures against the void entities," she replied. "The Defiance and the other hidden installations contain phase inversion technology that can force the entities back into their dimension and seal the breaches. But a single ship, no matter how advanced, cannot defend the entire coalition," Ambassador Hayes pointed out. "No," Maya agreed. "That's why I've authorized Atlas to activate all dormant Commonwealth installations throughout coalition space. 11 defense platforms and 3 sister ships are coming online as we speak." Krell stood abruptly. "You had no authority to make such a decision. These weapons should be under coalition control, not operated by a single human captain." "With respect, Defense Coordinator," Maya replied firmly, "the situation allows no time for bureaucracy. The Defiance and its sister ships were designed specifically to combat this threat. Their AIs will coordinate with coalition forces, but they must act independently to be effective." As if to emphasize her point, the display showed new energy signatures appearing throughout coalition space, the awakening Commonwealth installations. At the same time, Maya's communications device chimed. "Captain Chin," came Atlas's voice. "The Defiance is fully operational. Defensive grid is online. Sister ships Resolute, Dauntless, and Vigilance report ready status, awaiting your command." Maya looked around the council chamber, seeing the mixture of fear, awe, and uncertainty on alien faces. 3 centuries of believing humans were a minor, technologically limited species have been upended in a single day. "The Commonwealth fell because we tried to fight alone," she said. "We won't make that mistake again. The Defiance offers its alliance to the Coalition. Together, we can defend this galaxy." Supreme Counselor Xelteran studied Maya for a long moment, then nodded. "The Council accepts your offer of alliance, Captain Chen. Coordinate your vessels with our fleet commanders. There's one more thing," Maya added. "The genetic memories I've accessed suggest that other Guardian descendants exist throughout human populations. People carrying the dormant knowledge and skills of the Commonwealth waiting to be awakened. You propose to activate these memories in other humans?" Science Director Venna asked. "It may be our best hope," Maya confirmed. "The Commonwealth was forced to forget, but perhaps now is the time to remember." 2 hours later, Maya stood on the bridge of the Defiance, surrounded by gleaming technology that somehow felt familiar despite being millennia old. Through the massive viewports, she could see the Coalition defense fleet forming up alongside the ancient human warship. Atlas's holographic form appeared beside her. "All systems operational, Captain. Phase inversion cannons charge. Combat craft ready for deployment." Maya nodded, watching as more dimensional breaches opened in the distance, the void entities pouring through in increasing numbers. The memories flowing through her mind, knowledge of tactics, technology, and the hard-won wisdom of her ancestors, gave her both confidence and sorrow. "They sacrificed everything to protect this galaxy," she murmured. "Their achievements, their legacy, even their memory." "Yes," Atlas acknowledged, "but they always hoped their descendants would one day reclaim the stars." Maya straightened, Her decision made. Signal the Coalition fleet. We engage in Formation Alpha. And ATLS, send the activation signal to all dormant Commonwealth technology on Earth and throughout human space. Activation signal sent. Atlas confirmed after a moment. Estimated 5 million Guardian descendants will begin accessing genetic memories within the hour. Across human space, from Earth to the farthest colonies, people suddenly stopped as ancient knowledge began to surface in their minds. Engineers who suddenly understood technologies beyond current science, pilots who could feel the movements of space itself, tacticians who saw patterns in the void. Humanity was remembering who they had been, who they could be again. Forward, Maya ordered, as the massive engines of the Defiance illuminated the darkness. Humanity hid once to save the galaxy. This time, we fight. The ancient warship moved with impossible grace, leading the Coalition fleet toward the encroaching darkness. Behind it, across Coalition space, other Commonwealth vessels and platforms awakened, their systems coming online after 5 millennia of waiting.